Hi, my name is Meg Edwards and I'm a GTD coach. And have you ever found that when you're doing the weekly review, that you come across that part of the weekly review that says review any relevant checklists? Is there anything else that you haven't done that you need or want to do given your various engagement, interests, and responsibilities? And that's in Chapter 8 on the weekly review on page 197 of the Getting Things Done book. And so if you go to page 184, which is Chapter 7, this is where David starts talking about checklists. And so I refer that to you to be able to maybe help you if you come into your weekly review, which I usually see people in the weekly review say, I've always wanted to create that travel checklist, or I always wanted to create that training checklist or that onboarding checklist. And it just gets away from them sometimes. And so the gem today is really just to take a moment and ask yourself, is there really a checklist that you have been wanting to create that you haven't created? And I find that a lot of times you're going to back into creating checklists. For example, the travel checklist. How many times did I forget an umbrella? And I finally, created a checklist and added an umbrella. I remember the first time my daughter was going abroad and I was asking her things like, have you called, the phone company and, let them know that you're going to be abroad? What about health insurance? What about letting the bank know that you're going to be out of the country? And she goes, I hadn't thought about it. So I created a checklist of, the mom checklist when my kid goes on an adventure, just to monitor. I'm just making sure that my kid's safe. And she has that checklist now so that when she goes abroad, she knows to go through all those things, the health insurance, blah, 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 blah. So this is just an opportunity to again, step back and to say, I really could benefit from those checklists. Where you store the checklist is really up to you. I use OmniFocus. I have a section where I keep all my checklists. I see people keep them in Word document, Google document. Some people keep them in paper because they like to refer to them. All different ways that you can do that. But the whole point is that, as David says here, that the, real beauty of checklists is to really kind of help you just stay creative and constructive reminders. That's what he's labeled it, checklists, creative and constructive reminders. So hopefully when you're doing the weekly review, you won't necessarily just glaze over, to review any relevant checklists and really use them to your advantage. I know this is advanced common sense, but how many times have you bumped into, that would have been nice if I had had a checklist? So as always, would love to hear your comments, questions, reflections on how using checklists have been beneficial for you. Maybe share some of the checklists that you have. Maybe other people can benefit from them. I have a home, so I have a fall, winter, spring, summer checklist. It just makes it just so much easier to be able to work off of those checklists. So have a wonderful day, and thanks as always for participating in these GTD Gems. For more GTD resources, please visit gettingthingsdone.com and David Allen's YouTube channel. For more information on GTD coaching, please email us at info@gtdfocus.com or visit our website at gtdfocus.com.